My name is Rachel Morgan, and I never thought the person who would steal my late mother's jewelry would be someone who called herself my family. 3 months ago, I left home for a 3-day business conference in New York. When I came back, every piece of jewelry my mother had left me was gone. My stepmother thought she had committed the perfect crime. She didn't know there was one hidden camera recording everything. My mother passed away from cancer when I was 23. A week before she died, she placed a small jewelry box in my hands. She smiled and whispered, "One day if you have a daughter, give these to her." Inside were her wedding ring, a sapphire necklace, a pearl bracelet, and a few simple gold earrings. They weren't worth millions, but they were worth everything to me. They were the last memories I had of my mother. 2 years after her death, my father married Linda. At first she seemed kind and caring, but over time I noticed something strange. She often asked about my mother's jewelry. She even tried on my mother's pearl necklace once without asking. When I told her I wasn't comfortable with that, she laughed and said, "We're family now." Something about her smile always felt fake. Because I traveled for work, I kept the jewelry inside a fireproof safe hidden in my bedroom closet. Only 3 people knew the combination: me, my father, and Linda. Before leaving for New York, I checked the safe one last time. Everything was there. I locked it and left. 3 days later I came home. The house looked normal. Linda greeted me with a smile. She asked how my trip had gone. Everything seemed fine, until I opened my safe. It was empty. Every ring, every necklace, every bracelet, gone. I searched the entire room, hoping I had somehow moved them. I hadn't. I rushed downstairs. "Linda, my mother's jewelry is missing." She looked surprised. "Are you sure?" "Yes." She shrugged. "Maybe someone broke into the house." I looked around. Nothing had been touched. No broken windows. No damaged locks. No missing electronics. Only the jewelry was gone. That night my father came home. He was shocked. We searched the house again. Nothing. The next morning, I reported the theft to the police. The officer asked, "Do you have any security cameras?" I almost said no. Then I remembered something. 6 months earlier, after buying expensive work equipment, I had secretly installed a tiny motion-activated camera on my bookshelf facing my bedroom. I had completely forgotten about it. My hands shook as I opened the camera app. I selected the date I was away. The first day showed nothing. The second day, at exactly 2:17 in the afternoon, my bedroom door opened. Linda walked inside. She looked around carefully. Then she walked straight to my closet. She entered the safe's code perfectly, opened the door, removed every jewelry box, placed them into a shopping bag, closed the safe, smiled, and walked out. The entire theft had been recorded in crystal clear video. I didn't confront her. Instead, I called a lawyer. The next morning, we contacted the police detective handling my case and showed him the footage. Within hours, they obtained a search warrant. That afternoon, detectives visited the house. Linda looked completely confident. Until they showed her the video, her smile disappeared. First, she denied everything. Then she claimed she had only borrowed the jewelry. But when detectives asked where it was, she couldn't answer. The investigation quickly revealed the truth. Linda had sold every piece to a local pawn shop the very next day. Luckily, the shop owner had recorded her identification and still had most of the jewelry because it hadn't been resold yet. The police recovered my mother's wedding ring, necklace, bracelet, and earrings. Holding them again made me cry. Not because of their value, because I thought I had lost the last pieces of my mother forever. When my father learned the truth, he was devastated. He couldn't believe the woman he married had stolen from his own daughter. Linda begged him to forgive her. She claimed she only needed money, but the trust was gone. A few months later, my father filed for divorce. Linda eventually accepted responsibility for the theft and reached a legal agreement that required her to pay restitution and complete community service. One evening, my father apologized to me. He said, "I should have protected you better." I hugged him. "You believed the wrong person." He nodded. "And I almost lost the right one." Today, my mother's jewelry is locked inside a bank safety deposit box. Not because I'm afraid of losing it again, but because some memories are simply too precious to risk. This experience taught me something I'll never forget. The people who call themselves family are the ones you have to protect yourself from. And sometimes, one small hidden camera can reveal the biggest betrayal of all.